Welcome to Football Fever, everybody. It's great to have you back here. I'm Alan Mandel, sports editor of the Killeen Daily Herald, and we're joined again, as per usual, by our three born and bred Texans, three football experts, Jordan Mason, Albert Alvarado, Clay Whittington, and we're going to talk right now, right at it, running the football. Running the football. One of our favorite themes, and Albert, you're a former offensive lineman. You got to love the way Florence piles up 360 yards last week and just 40 carries. That's 9 yards per. That's good, right?
And just 3 passes. I mean, that was incredible. Not only was it great for sports writers who are on tight deadlines, but, just being able to just control the line of scrimmage. Now, looking back at that game, Florence had a big second half. That to me told me that the big guys up front, like Ethan Bowers, Colton Wood, they just wore out Hamilton. And what's impressive, what I felt was impressive about this game is that, Florence opened up the season with a big win at Rosebud Lot. There wasn't a whole lot of film out there, outside of scrimmage. Hamilton had 3 games worth of tape to look, and still, Florence kind of ran all over him. Now, I was talking to Coach McQueen, and his philosophy is still going when you go into district with a win. Florence, they're thinking playoffs. They know, with a tough district with Rockdale, Lago Vista, and it's not going to be easy. But they feel like they can still get a couple wins, get into the playoffs, and why not when you have big guys up front like Bowers, who coincidentally is also our KDH press box Player of the Week nomination. So 4:00 Thursday night, if people want to still go out and vote. Bowers, you have great backs like Adele Hernandez, Lindell Freeman. Keep the defense off the field. That's another McQueenism.
Well, I'll go on the hook right now. I'll tell you, Bowers, I think, is going to be a D1 guy. I really do. I believe it. He's a sophomore, and if he just keeps listening to Coach, he's gonna be a D1 kid. And tell us a little bit about this matchup against Moody this week. What are your thoughts?
It's another kind of close non-district game. I mean, Moody has some good things going. They're 3-1. They're kind of in between Killeen and Waco. No one really pays a whole lot of attention to them. No one knows a whole lot about them. They're usually overlooked with some of the bigger schools, but they're another good team. Prides itself on having a really good run game. So it'll be interesting to see that battle of attrition up front.
Okay, thank you, Albert. Now we got an interesting matchup here. 2 of our teams, Jordan. We got Salado at Gatesville. Salado's record, not what they want. Do they got a shot against Gatesville this week?
Well, they have to feel a bit more encouraged coming into this one. They're coming off their best defensive performance of the season. They held Academy to 14 points, and Jacob Little hooked up with Jacob Quick for a long touchdown pass to give them 7 points. They had a chance, but they weren't able to pull it out. So have to be feeling better about it. Gatesville, obviously a formidable opponent, though. I mean, no rest for the weary on that schedule. They haven't faced any slouches, but they probably want it that way because they're going to be in a tough district and they need to be prepared. And so they're going to come out again looking to get going offensively because they still haven't put up 2 scores this year. So if they can get the offense going and maybe pair that with the defense the way it played in the last game, then they have to feel good about their chances.
Okay, thank you, Jordan. Let's stay on that gameplay. Gatesville's a team you cover that high school all year round, and of course you cover their football program. Their thoughts facing Salado.
Yeah, it's a program that's moving in the right direction. I mean, they got the big win 2 weeks ago against Waco Connolly. Last week they played West. They lost, but it was a good loss if you can say that. It was 2017, and West had been blowing people out all year, so they kept it close, and they actually were leading with less than 2 minutes left, but gave up a touchdown drive with about 45 seconds left, and that cost them the game. But they're a team that's moving in the right direction. They've got, like Jordan said, Salado hasn't exactly been scoring a ton, so Gatesville's got that in their favor, but Gatesville hasn't been putting up a ton of points either. So on paper, it would look like Gatesville should win this game, but when you take your foot off the gas and when you think you've got something, that's usually when it comes back to bite you. So they're going to be focused going into this game. They want to put together a complete effort and see where it takes them. But they're looking a lot better than they were to start the season. But granted, they had a very tough schedule, so that probably did probably did a lot to help prepare them for this run, and now it's time to see how much it paid off.
Okay. And Lampasas at Canyon Lake, another school that you cover so well for us, Lampasas, 3-1 now. Did you think 3-1 after the first month for Lampasas?
That's surprising, and they've won 3 in a row. And last week was it wasn't pretty. They dug themselves a hole, but they battled out of it. And this is going to be a game of 2 running offenses, so it could be over in an hour and a half, because they both are going to run the ball just a ton. So it'll be interesting to see which offensive line wins there. But Lampasas is they looked good last week, minus the first half when they committed 11 penalties, which, like I said, really put them in a hole. But they're moving the ball. Cohen Cockburn, sophomore quarterback, seems like he's developing into a leader, getting more relaxed in his role. The team's got a ton of confidence now after winning 3 straight. And they really used that Lorena game as a measuring stick. Lorena had played their first 3 games were against district opponents of Lampasas, so it kind of gave them something to look at and compare themselves off of. And frankly, Coach Emerson likes where they're at right now. Obviously, there's things they can clean up, especially the penalties, but they're turning into the team that he wants, I believe, and it'll just be a matter of how well they can run the ball and how well they can stop the run, which hasn't exactly been their biggest advantage defensively. They're more of a pass stopping team, so it'll be a good gauge to see where they're at defensively against running teams. They've got one more game before they go into district, so it'll be interesting to see how they stack up.
And final question, the backfield though, Walker, Phillips, how'd they look last week to you?
Walker had probably the game swinging play. First snap after halftime, ran a 69-yard touchdown in to give them the lead after they'd struggled so much in the first half, and that really sparked the team. Phillips was solid, and then they've got Cockburn. He'll run the ball some too. So the backfield is looking nice. It's developing into a kind of a 3-headed monster. But Kale is probably the leader of that group right now. He's got good vision, good speed, good elusiveness. I mean, he's pretty good little running back they've got there, and I think they can hang their hat on him for a while.
Okay, thank you, Clay. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Jordan. And thank you for joining us for Football Fever. We'll see you right here next week. Thank you.